giant robots smashing into other giant robots.
Hello everyone, and this is the Giant Robots Smashing into Other Giant Robots podcast, where we explore the design, development, and business of great products. Very special episode for you today. It's number 600. I'm your host, Sami Birnbaum.
And I'm your other host, Will Larry.
And I'm your other host, Chad Pytel.
It's difficult numbers to get your head around. In fact, I've been struggling so much with these numbers. The only way I've been able to relate to it is consider what year were the first records of smallpox. So what year were they found in European historical records? Because I just want to get perspective. Does anyone have any idea when they think that smallpox first became visible in European historical records?
Well, 1900s.
No, it's got to be something like 1100.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's obviously the year 600 AD, right? Because this is all. I mean, for those who stick around for the rest of this episode, you're going to be hearing loads of these facts where a lot of them relate to the number 600 because that's what we're celebrating today.
600.
Oh, we're not celebrating smallpox. I was confused.
No. That's going to be episode 601. So the new season is going to be all about diseases that nearly wiped out the world. We'll be talking about smallpox in depth.
I'm really looking forward to that season.
Yes. Well, I was just going to say that is so wild. Like, I'm just going to say it like from 2020 to now, 5 years. And like, it's easy to reference like smallpox. Like, okay, yeah. I'm talking about the pandemic we went through and stuff. So it's just interesting.
Yeah, it's a good way to start an episode, which is meant to be really upbeat and celebrating the success of the podcast.
I mean, you did it.
Yes,
I did do it, but I want to set the scene as well because like this podcast is going to be special in the sense we're kind of going to do some sort of it's almost like speed dating with fellow thoughtbotters, where we're going to have different people working at Thoughtbot come onto the podcast, hear a little bit about them, why they enjoy and love working at Thoughtbot, and really take time to celebrate with people who have contributed kind of to this whole journey. But obviously just taking us back as well. Do you two know when the first episode was aired?
I think it was January of 2012.
Wow, you've given a month. Now I have to look.
I know.
So you're right on the 2012. Oh, it's no. That's wrong. Pagination. It's June the 11th, 2012.
Okay.
Polymorphism versus conditionals.
That was a good year.
It was a good year. What were you doing in 2012, Will?
I got married that year.
Nice.
Shout out to Katie.
Did I get married in 2012? Stop it.
Come on, Sammy.
No. It was 2014. 2014. Sorry. Chad, what were you doing in 2012?
I was living in Pennsylvania, I think. And
wow.
we just started having kids. So our kids were like 3 and 1.
You missed those days?
No. It was great while it was happening, but I don't miss it.
Yes.
So you can measure your 1-year-old by podcast episodes, right?
Yes.
So if when your kid was 1, it was episode 1, and now it's episode 600. So you probably look at teenage years was kind of like episode 400, 450. Probably, yeah.
Instead of dog years podcast episodes.
Yeah.
Thank you for the vote of confidence. I'm in the 3 and 1 year old phase, but I totally agree with you. It's chaos.
Do you have any, like, for both of you, do you have any standout moments from your time as host on the podcast, apart from me joining before that? Is there any standout moments?
I think the biggest thing for me is I love to hear people's stories. And I think throughout the couple years I've been the podcast host, there has been stories that I'm like, wait, you did that? Like, whoa, like that seems like it's impossible to do that. But, a lot of people who are entrepreneurs, they put their head down. They're like, I got to make it happen. And they make it happen. And some of the stories, I'm like, I don't know how you made it out of that, but you did. Like, and it's inspiring to me to hear their stories and to know that you can do it. Like, it may be hard. It may suck, but there on the other side of it, you can be successful even throughout that. So I think that's the biggest takeaway that I've taken throughout the years of being the host, that you can do it. You could do what you put your mind to.
For me, I still remember, and I just looked up the episode number. It's episode 244. And that's my conversation with Seth Godin. It was his second time being on the show. The first time was episode 81, and Ben interviewed Seth. And so by that point, I had taken over for Ben as one of the hosts and got a chance to talk with Seth. And the conversation, Seth is such an amazing speaker and marketer, very sort of like thoughtful. And we ended up having this conversation about thoughtbot, and about the title of the episode is A Fork in the Road, and deciding what kind of company we wanted to be. And it was a really like meaningful conversation. And it still stands out in my mind as one of the incredible conversations that I've gotten to have as hosting the show.
Amazing. I'd have to give that. I have not listened to that episode, so that's a good one to put on the list.
And it's not just about thoughtbot. It's about what companies face as they scale and as they grow and as they age. And so even, while we touch on thoughtbot, there's a lot in that episode.
I think that's a big takeaway too, is it seems like we get a lot, how can I say it? Like how much our guests pours back into us. Like it doesn't seem like that, but I've learned so much from our guests, and I've had some impactful conversation with our guests, but it would seem like that's not the format of the show. But then there's been multiple conversations that weeks later I'm playing through my head like, man, that was very good. The way what they said or what they're doing and things like that. So yeah.
So we're gonna get on with it. We've got loads of guests lined up, and those guests are just banging on the door waiting to get in. So we got Bethan coming up, and we're going to get into that conversation, and then I'll catch the two of you later.
Yeah, we have to leave so that people, aren't intimidated by our presence, and they're able to give accurate answers and honest answers.
That's exactly why we've set it up like that. And we've got everyone chronologically waiting to come in one after the other. So that's why they have to leave now, because they're just stacked up waiting to come in. Okay, catch you in a bit. I'm delighted to be joined by our first guest in this speed dating run. Bethan, it's so great to have you on the podcast. Before I let you jump in, just telling us who you are, although the people should know, because you've been on the podcast before. Here's my fun fact. So do you have any idea how long the Coca-Cola NASCAR race is in the NASCAR Cup Series?
I don't, I'm afraid, Sami.
Oh, so you haven't been researching it?
No, it's not.
No, okay.
Not on my to-do list.
You'll never guess. You'll never guess. 600 miles. How nicely does that fit into our 600th episode?
It's almost like you planned it, Sami.
Almost. Before we crack on, so yeah, in a sentence, Bethan, introduce yourself.
So I'm Bethan. I'm one of our product managers here at thoughtbot. I've worked with many different small growth clients from that very first ideation all the way through to the sort of larger growth clients on their scaling journeys. So yeah, thanks for having me, Sami.
Pleasure. I love working with you, Bethan. We've been on some cool projects together. We did a really cool TikTok integration recently, so that was great. We don't have long because we're shifting between guests. So what do you love about working at thoughtbot?
Good question. For me, it's the people. We're very much run like a cooperative, and I always use that word to describe it when I'm talking to friends and family. So everybody's opinion matters, everybody's able to contribute to our handbook. So you can just raise like a small change and it goes through the processes. So yeah, it's the people for me.
Amazing. Do you have any idea when the first episode, we're episode 600 now, do you have any idea when the first episode was released of the Giant Robots podcast?
Oh,
You can give a guess.
Long before my time.
Yeah, long before me as well, yeah.
No, should we say like 14 years ago?
Very close, 13 years ago in 2012. What were you doing in 2012?
Oh, where was I in 2012? I think I was at university, Sami.
Same. I was also at university. Can you imagine that when we were at university working really diligently and hard, someone else was recording the first episode to prepare for this moment? Because everything is clearly led up to me and Bethan being on the podcast, and that's what it was all built for. So it's great to be here. Before I let you go, and I know it's not been long, but this is the nature of today's special episode. I'm working with a handoff question. So what that means is I'm getting every single guest to set a question for the next guest. It can be as jeopardizing, dramatic, or as sensible as you like. Because you're the first guest, you've got away lightly. There's no question has been set for you, but you get to set the question for Svenja, who's coming in as soon as you leave. Any ideas what you want to ask her?
Okay. Svenja, if you go to Mars, what chocolate-related bar would you want to take with you?
Love it. Okay, Bethan, you get on with your day. Have a great time. And I'll speak to you soon.
All right. Cheers, Sami. Thanks for having me. Bye.
Right, Bethan's gone. We love Bethan, but I'm also really excited to welcome to the hot seat Svenja.
Hello.
Hi, Svenja.
Hello.
Thanks for coming in.
Yeah.
It's great to see you. People know if they've listened to the podcast, they've heard your voice. They know you're my team lead. It makes me feel very nervous, but you're very kind to me. But now the shoe's on the other foot because I'm in control, Svenja. Okay, so
Let's see.
you know the Bible very well, don't you?
I
You're
don't.
quite familiar with the Old Testament. Great. So let's ask you this: how old was Noah when the flood began?
I have
Take a
no
guess.
clue. I'm not. How do you say that? Bibelfest? I have no clue about the Bible.
You have no clue. So
No.
I can tell you for a fact that he was 600 years old, according to the
Quite
Bible.
old.
Yeah, but think about this podcast. 600th episode, baby.
Still, do you want to live for 600 years?
Personally, I don't think it would be good for me or the people around me.
Or the podcast, maybe.
Yeah, but the podcast has made it to 600, which is the same age that Noah was when the flood began. But I'm hoping that doesn't mean
Do you
that a
want
flood
the
is
flood
kicking
to
off.
come, Sami? This takes a weird direction, Sami.
This has
I'm
gone in
not
a weird
sure Who is
direction.
in control now?
Oh no, I do not want a flood, but I do like water.
I don't. I'm scared.
Oh, okay, fair enough. So, tell us, just for the listeners who don't know who you are, give us a one-line intro. Who is Svenja?
I am team lead, yours. I'm also senior developer at thoughtbot. I am here since 3.5 years, more or less, and I am the host of the Opinionated Thoughtbot because I am very opinionated.
You are very opinionated, and I want to know your opinion on why you love working at thoughtbot.
Mostly because of the team. I love the people I'm working with. I love the values. Yeah, it's just like
That's so
who wouldn't
interesting.
love
Yeah,
it?
that's what Bethan said. To be fair, I think that's my answer. I just like the
Really?
people. Yeah, I really do.
Yeah, it is the people, or it are the reason are the people. The reason are the people. I think.
I don't know. I'm just a podcast host, Svenja. I don't know grammar.
Well, I'm German. I don't know grammar.
So, any ideas? We're at episode 600, special episode, speed dating through loads of different people in the company. I'm so excited, by the way. For those who think this is good, just wait until you see who we have coming on the episode. I mean, this is good. Don't get me wrong. This is the best. We've peaked. but we have to have other people on. Any ideas? Any ideas when the first episode aired? The first episode was recorded.
Well, I mean, since it's episode 600, maybe 1,200 weeks ago. How long is that?
Right, it's not a bad guess, by the way. I don't know where that would end up, but the first episode was in 2012.
What?
2012. That's 13 years ago that this whole thing started, and it's unbelievable to see that it's still going. It's up to the listeners to judge whether it's improved or not. But hey, I can only work with what I've got in front of me.
It is. I mean, hello,
yeah, of course.
Here we are.
What were you doing 13 years ago when Joe Ferris and Ben Orenstein were recording the first episode about polymorphism versus conditionals?
I definitely had no clue about polymorphism, and I still can't pronounce it. 13 years ago, probably was 10 years old. I don't know.
Oh, you think you were 10 years old 13 years ago, Svenja?
Sure.
I'll take it. I believe you.
Thank you.
Before you go, I've got this little feature I'm playing around with on today's episode, which is called the handoff question. Okay. And what that means is you have to provide a question for our next guest that they have to answer. That means you can put them in as much jeopardy as you like, or you can be as kind and sensible as you like. That's not for me to judge how you want to do it. However, before you select your question, you have a handoff question to answer from our previous guest, Bethan. And Bethan has asked, if you went to Mars, what chocolate-related bar would you take with you?
Easy to because I absolutely love white, crisp chocolate. This is vegan, by the way. So definitely.
Yeah, Svenja has been showing those on every video call since she got them delivered. So
yesterday,
I thought that might be your
had
answer.
3 bars, so now I only have 1 left.
Right. So go on then. What's your handoff question for the next guest?
Oh my god, I'm not very spontaneous.
No one has yet asked my favorite zombie apocalypse question.
Oh my god!
You know my favorite question, right? What's my question? In a zombie apocalypse?
In a zombie apocalypse?
Yeah.
You have to choose your team, and there are which thoughtbot would throw you under the bus? I'm not sure you want to ask that, but yeah, please go ahead.
I definitely do. I definitely do. I normally phrase it as who would you eat first?
No.
But I like this because this is your question.
Yes,
it's your show. So in a zombie apocalypse, who would throw you under the bus first?
No, which thoughtbotter would throw the other people under the bus first?
Oh, which thoughtbotter would be the first to jump ship and throw everyone else under the bus? I think I know the answer to this.
Oh yeah,
Do you know the answer?
I know the answer, of course, but I can't give it to you.
You don't give it to me. I think it's me, but I don't
No,
know.
it's not you. It's not
okay,
you.
Amazing. Wow, you trust me more than I thought.
Of course I do. Who would save you?
You're asking me if I know who would save us.
Oh, that's the second question. Like
you don't get 2 questions.
Well,
you get 1 question.
The question is the zombie apocalypse question.
You're saying it all comes under the same header.
Yes, exactly.
You're like a class with multiple responsibilities. So who would throw you under the bus?
Yes.
Who would throw
the team under the bus?
The team under the bus, and who would save the team?
Who would save the team?
Got it. I'm going to do my best not to botch your question. Okay, you need to go because Ferdia is banging on the door.
Oh, say hi to Ferdia.
Bye. Right, good riddance to Svenja. I'm glad that she's parted ways. Ferdia, thanks for joining us. You're my next guest on this wild speed dating 600th episode of the Giant Robots podcast. Fun fact, actually. I wonder if you know the answer to this. Do you know when Pope Gregory the Great, you must be familiar with, decreed that saying, God bless you, is the correct response to a sneeze? Do you know when he would have done that?
I don't off the top of my head, Sammy. It wasn't a pre-prepared question or anything. So no, couldn't tell you. But maybe you can tell me.
Oh, okay. No, it was in the year or around the year 600 AD, which is very relevant because this is the 600th episode, if you think about it.
I see. All 600 related.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you. I'm surprised. I'm a little bit surprised that you didn't get that. But tell us in a sentence, Ferdia, give us a little bit intro to yourself and what you do at thoughtbot.
Yeah, I'm a senior designer at thoughtbot, Sami. Been here for about nearly 5 years now, and based in Dublin, Ireland.
And what do you love about working at thoughtbot?
I love getting to chat with yourself, Sami. It's really makes me enjoy my day. No, I think
people have. I know a lot of people, but a lot of people do say that's the best part of being here. It's funny you say that. What's your favorite part of being at thoughtbot?
Yeah, I'd say I think it's probably the team, to be honest, Sammy. Like we've such a really nice team. Everyone's so kind of kind to each other, so helpful. Great team to learn off. So if you've ever got no one's really strong in absolutely every facet of their kind of skill set, and the team's always there to kind of help you out, and everyone's just so nice. So I think that's probably my number one thing. I love working with the Fusion team.
Yeah, there's a bit of a trend here because Beth and Svenja both had the same answer before you. So I don't know if HR are listening into the podcasts, the people team, but it's worth taking note that that's what no one yet has mentioned the great projects they get to work on. But people like working with good people, nice people.
100%. Yeah. And you get to appear on great podcasts as well. So that would be a close second.
What isn't there to love? Do you know when the first episode was aired? First episode that recorded of this. So we're up to 600. Take a guess.
It was about 599 weeks ago.
Around that. If we really were good and released every single week. So the first episode takes us way back to 2012.
Oh, wow.
Which is 13 years ago. What were you doing 13 years ago? What were you doing in 2012?
I was still in school. In secondary school.
No, you were not. Were you really?
Yeah.
To be fair, I wasn't far out. I must have been first or second year uni.
Yeah, I think I was fifth year in secondary school.
And you feel like whilst you were working diligently in secondary school, the podcast was really preparing itself for this moment and gearing up to you being on episode 600?
I would assume so, Sam. I presume this is the culmination of those 13 years.
Right. This is what everyone's been waiting for. So we've got, because this is kind of a quick style in terms of getting as many people as we can on from thoughtbot over the episodes, to celebrate that we've done 600 podcasts, to celebrate the people that we have at thoughtbot. We've got a little feature which is called the handoff question. So what that means is you get to provide a question that I have to ask to the next guest. The only issue with that is you've been provided a handoff question from Svenja that you have to answer.
I see.
Yes. And she has managed to kind of get 2 questions in under the zombie apocalypse rule. So there is a zombie apocalypse, Ferdia, and we're in thoughtbot headquarters. Who do you think, I've got to make sure I get this right because she had to take the told me a few times. Who do you think would be the first thoughtbotter to throw everyone else under the bus, or to sabotage and throw everyone else to the zombies so they could survive?
I'm not just going to guess this answer. I know it because this person has told me. It's Rob. Rob would.
Oh, brilliant. Okay.
He's straight up told me he would throw any of us under the bus to save himself. So I'm going with Rob.
Right. So for those who don't know, Rob is our director of software development. Lovely character, but not the sort of person you want by your side in a zombie apocalypse.
No, ruthless to the core.
And she sneaked in a second question, I think maybe to bring a bit more positivity. Who do you think would be the first person to step up to attempt to save the team?
Oh no, that's a much trickier one. I think you could have a couple of people vying for it. I'd say Svenja herself would be up there. Former army training and very empathetic and caring about people, about the team. So yeah, I'd probably put Svenja into that bracket.
Yeah, that's fair. You now get to think of a handoff question for our next guest. So you can ask them whatever you like. You can make it sensible. You can make it jeopardizing, dramatic. It's kind of what position do you want them to be in when I ask it to them?
Geez, I might need to pause the recording to think of something witty.
Do you ever wonder do you drink soup or do you eat soup? Because I've never really got to the bottom of that one.
I've got one. What language do babies think in?
Wow.
Yeah. And if you're to elaborate on the question, do they have their own custom language that they're thinking in, and then we just learn it out of them by teaching them English or whatever else, in which case we're losing thousands and millions of languages a day.
There is a baby language which we're yet to really understand and work with, and it could be really efficient.
Well, it could be totally unique. Could be a totally unique language. We each have our own one that we're thinking in.
Like, top question. I need to get you out of here because I've got my next guest coming in.
All right.
I don't have time to pontificate anymore. Okay. I appreciate your time. See ya.
Thanks, man. Bye.
Right, I'm going to miss Ferdia, but I'm glad he's gone because that gives me a chance to speak to Moses. Moses, your place where you work is beautiful. I mean, that's probably why you're a designer.
Yeah.
It's proper nice. Thank you for joining us. This is episode 600, and we're getting through a lot of thoughtbotters today. Some people think that I don't put a lot of effort into these. If you could only see my calendar today, it's carnage. The amount of people trying to squeeze in and slots here or there. But I've also been doing other research, Moses, because I was looking into how many miles it would take to get from my house in northwest London to Leipzig in Germany. And I'm wondering if you could take a guess how many miles you think it is from my house in London to Germany.
Well, I'll put my design hat on and I would ask you, are you working? Are you flying? Are you in a car?
Very clever.
Are you on a bicycle?
let's say I can fly, so I can go direct in terms of like the way the crow flies. So I don't have to circumnavigate loads of roads. It's still impossible to know, but have a stab.
1,200 miles.
Half of that is 600 miles because it's the 600th episode. So I'm sharing lots of 600 facts. So it's 600 miles. Yeah, I'm learning a lot about the 600 of things. So Moses, give us a little bit of an intro. What's your role? What do you do at thoughtbot?
Yeah, my name is Moses Amama. I'm a senior product designer here at thoughtbot, and I'm working out of North Central Nigeria.
What I've been asking a few other people as well is, what do you love about working at thoughtbot?
There's so many things I love about working at thoughtbot. One of it is having this very supportive and amazing and very talented colleagues to work with. But the second thing, and this is something that has been very obvious from the first time I read the job description that brought me into thoughtbot, it felt like this was a place where a lot of thought was put into things. So even the job description, the first email I received after applying, the first person I spoke to, they all gave me the impression that this was a place that takes it pretty seriously to make sure they create an environment where it's possible for me to do my best work. And I was very pleased that when I joined, I find that it wasn't any different. It's been exactly like that.
Such a good point because I found the same thing. Like they really, I remember when I first started, and often I would ask questions like, "Can I do this or do it in this way?" And the answer was always, do what helps you to be the best. Whatever's going to bring out the best out of you. Whatever you find the easiest way to work. And it's definitely really supportive in that way. Do you happen to know? So this is episode 600. Do you know when the first episode came out? How many years ago do you think it was?
I feel like I've seen that detail somewhere.
Oh, you might be the first one to get the right answer. Yeah.
2012.
Bang on. 100 points to Moses. That no one else has got that. But my follow-up question is, and I've been asking this to everyone else as well, is what were you doing 13 years ago in 2012?
Interesting. super interesting because that was the exact year that I downloaded the first book by Adam Lloyd, Absolute Beginner's Guide to HTML and CSS.
Cool. So that's really interesting. Okay, so most people like myself, I was in university messing around. Ferdia was still in school. You were actually, embarking on your journey into web development and web design. So
Yep.
that's really cool.
Yeah, interest. I was also in the university, getting into the university. I was going to study. I already had admission to study computer science and statistics, but I was more interested in the computer science part. So I just wanted anything to get me started before I resumed school. But that was what started the journey that has got me here.
Amazing. So it's been a long journey for the podcast as well. And as a little feature on this 600th episode, we're working with handoff questions. And so that's where you as a guest are allowed to provide a question that the next guest has to answer. The only problem with that is you've been provided a question from Ferdia. And Ferdia's question is something he said that keeps him up at night. He wants to know, and maybe you know the answer to this, what language do babies think in? Do they think in their own language? Do they have their own baby language and just we shift them into like the language that we speak? Oh, Trez has joined us. Hey, Trezor. Wow. Welcome. I love this. I love it. Just jump in. Just jump in. Let's go, Trezor. Let's go. Go on then, Moses. What do you think the answer to that question is?
Okay. As someone who's been communicating a lot with my baby in baby language. Okay, can I approach this question from a logical perspective? Because
go for it.
I would think a baby would think in the dominant language in their environment. So the language that is mostly spoken at home, the language that on their favorite like cartoons or like baby entertainment, Miss Rachel and the likes. And this is why. My baby's already forming her first words. And
so you're in the best position to answer this. You're an expert. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. My baby's forming her first words, and all the words that are getting formed are coming out in English because that's the dominant language around her.
Interesting. Very interesting. So hopefully Ferdia can rest well at night, knowing that the baby thinks in the language that is dominant to its surroundings. But you now get to set a question for our next guest. It could be as wild as you want. We've had some zombie apocalypse questions. It could be as sensible as you like. Any thoughts on a question?
Yeah, I'm thinking. Okay, let me ask another baby question.
Go for it.
How do babies understand? Because I've seen many situations where babies are communicating with each other in some form and having very good laugh and enjoying themselves. Do they really understand what they're saying, or are they all inferring different meanings to what they're saying and it's entertaining and cracking them up?
I love that question. Brilliant. I'm going to give that to our next guest. Trezor, I love that you've just popped in. I feel like this is a sneak peek to what's coming later because Trezor will be joining us as a guest. So this is a teaser. This is like one of those hooks that real influencers use to pull people back in. Like here you see Trezor and you will get a chance to really see him later. Trezor, any words before I kick on to our next guest?
No, just a sneak peek. I guess we'll talk more when I join.
We'll talk more later. Right, Moses, we'll let you get back to things because I've got Remy coming in quick and fast.
Alrighty.
Right, Moses is just left, and without a second to breathe, we have Remy who has joined us. A lot of people on the podcast will recognize his voice either from the Giant Robots podcast or the Bike Shed, which we don't want any of you to listen to because you should just listen to this one. And he's like our resident astrologer at thoughtbot, as well as an incredible developer. I've been starting, my little kind of like segments with all the different guests from thoughtbot with a fact that tends to relate to the number 600, but I'm like 4 or 5 guests in now, so I'm struggling to the point that I'll give you an example. The longest NASCAR race, 600 miles. Good fact. Yeah, I like that one. Some of the other ones we use is Noah was 600 years old, according to the Bible, when the flood began. Apparently so. So I'm running so dry on facts I can link to 600 that I got this fact in from ChatGPT, which said 600, believe it or not, is the natural number between 599 and 601.
Yes.
Yes, I think it's right. I think it's right. It is. It is. Fact about 600 sits between 599 and 601. Remy, to give us an intro, give us a one-liner, who you are, your role at thoughtbot.
Senior developer at thoughtbot for 3 years, passionate about science and astronomy, and that's it.
And you also don't be humble. You also are the author of an incredible gem. Give a shout out to your gem.
Astronomy, which enables anyone to compute things astronomy related, like the location of planets in the sky. 10 years ago or 50 years from now, anytime, with great accuracy, and all in Ruby.
Yeah, and we did it. We did a great podcast on that, on like Giant Robots podcast, and you've also done one on the Bike Shed. And I know that the community is really enjoying the gem and taking well to it, and are really appreciative of the gem that you've created. In terms of your life and your work at thoughtbot, I've been asking other guests as well. What do you enjoy? What do you love about working here?
Everyone is really involved, both in the community and in the company. Like everyone wants to learn, but everyone wants to share what they learn, either with the company or with the community by doing blogs and conferences. It's not like a few folks are more motivated than others. It looks like everyone is very motivated to contribute to the universal knowledge somehow. And I really love this energy. Everyone is doing an initiative, whether it's internally or externally, and it's very inspiring.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. I think at times I found it like pressurizing. Like you are around people with like quite high standards, but like firstly, like it's helpful in a way because it helps us all to grow and it keeps us engaged. But everyone is very empathetic. Like I don't. There is no pressure to do that. It's just organic. Like it's the way we. It's the energy, and we kind of get that off each other, which is really nice. Do you have any idea? So this is episode 600, massive special episode. Do you have any idea when episode number 1 was? Take a guess if you have to guess how many years ago or what year.
8 years ago.
Close. 13, which takes us back to 2012. You had Joe Ferris and Ben Orenstein on the podcast talking about polymorphism versus conditionals. So a lot has happened since then. But what were you doing back in 2012? What was your life like 13 years ago?
I was doing PHP in a nice company doing contests in Facebook. So basically engaging communities around games inside Facebook and doing that in JavaScript and PHP. It was a part-time job because I was both studying and working for this company. And that was just brilliant, actually. That was really nice.
Yeah, feels like for me it was being in university, and it feels like an age ago. And it's like, you know, a testament to this podcast and how it stood the test of time, to that it's still been going through all these years. I don't have long with you, but we've got this little feature on this episode, which is the handoff question. So that's where you get to set a question for the next guest, who I can tell you will be Sarah because she's banging on my door already. While that's lovely and great for you, the problem is we've had Moses, who has set a question for you first. And Moses wants to know how babies, or do babies, understand what they are saying to each other. Do they have a language of communication that it makes sense what they're saying to each other? And therefore, like when they laugh together, it's because they understand? Or are they laughing at each other that doesn't make sense?
My guess would be that they use non-verbal communication way more than us. So probably, facial expressions, gesture, feelings, the atmosphere. I think they communicate very well with that. And maybe also, tone. Like they might say things that is gibberish, but the way they say it, there is an intention. So they're still communicating, even if it's not proper words. That would be my guess.
I think I think it probably is the answer, but you have the delight now of thinking about a question that Sarah has to answer, and we've had a range of questions from, what chocolate bar would you take with you if you were left on Mars? Zombie apocalypse questions, so it can go wherever you want it to go, but Sarah has to answer it.
Okay, maybe boring, but I'm just curious what she's the most proud of this year.
Great question. Do you know what? It's so nice that finally we've had someone mature on the podcast who can set a nice and sensible question.
Yeah,
So
mature is a nice way to say boring.
No. It's great. I like it. Okay, what is the thing you are most proud of this year? Is that correct?
Yeah.
Nice. Remy, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
I really appreciate your time, and I will chat to you soon.
Cheers.
Trezor, it is so great to have you on the podcast. I've normally been starting with facts, but I've got one for you. Bear with me. I've got one. I haven't lost it. Good. Trezor, did you know, or do you know, that the Sumatran rhino, which is the smallest of all rhinos, can still weigh up to how many kilograms do you think it can weigh up to? Is it kilograms? It can't be kilograms. It is kilograms. So the smallest rhino, the Sumatran rhino, it can still weigh up to a certain amount of kilograms.
I go with 150 kilograms.
You're wrong, Trezor. It's 600 because it's the 600th episode. So all of my ridiculously lame facts are connected to 600.
All right.
Give us a small intro, what your role is here at thoughtbot, maybe where you're based as well.
Yeah. Hi, I'm Trésor Bereke. I develop a thoughtbot. Been a thoughtbot for close to 4 years now. Next year in March. I am originally from Congo, DRC, but I started a thoughtbot when I was living in Rwanda and then relocated to Dubai in the UAE, and that's where I'm based. But I travel quite a lot, so throughout the year, I think I'm usually in 4 locations. One of them includes Kigali because that's where my family is nowadays, and my siblings are studying there. And Dubai, that's where I live. And then sometime I would go to different places, maybe for conferences. For instance, this year I was in Kenya for RubyConf Africa. So yeah.
It's always a fun game when you join a call to play. Like, where is Trezor now?
Yeah.
I always enjoy playing that game. So, tell me what you love and what you enjoy about working at thoughtbot. What's the best thing for you?
Yeah, I think one of the things that I enjoy the most about thoughtbot is the people. Everyone is such a unique perspective. We have all different backgrounds from different locations, and it's so fun. Like you could ask a question, and you're gonna get 10 or 20 different answers from everyone, and that's such a diverse culture. Like I really enjoy that. Also, we are I like that we are given possibility to just do implement like work on things that we actually want to work on. So we can request rotations. You're not just stuck on something that maybe you don't want to work on at the moment. So I really like that flexibility that thoughtbot offers.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. And this question you have to get right because you heard the answer when you were here with Sarah. So maybe you weren't concentrating. But do you know when actually the first episode of the Giant Robots podcast was recorded? Was aired?
2012. I got that.
Yeah, 100 points. There's only one other person who got that right. I can't remember who it was. I think it was Moses. I think Moses got that right. So you and Moses sit at the top of the leaderboard with that question. And like I said to Sarah, what were you doing 13 years ago in 2012?
Gosh, oh, that's such a good question. So, 13 years ago, I think I was in primary school at that time.
No, you
Uh,
weren't, Trezor.
I was
No,
in
you
primary
weren't.
school.
Wow.
So, at that time, I was about to finish primary school. Yeah.
Wow, that's incredible. It's a long time, and it's incredible to think back to where people were at their time, and hopefully we'll get the original hosts, Joe Ferris and Ben Orenstein, and they can also see how far this initiative that they started has actually grown and become. I don't know if they'll be happy with the state I've left it in, but hey, there's nothing they can do about it now. Trezor, you saw with Sarah that there's this feature I'm messing around with, which is the handoff question. So that's where Sarah set a question for you, and you get to set a question for Dawn, who's gonna come in next. Trezor, you maybe you heard your question, but what's the hardest thing about your job?
Yeah, that's such a good question. And this is something I think about quite a lot because I enjoy programming. And this is something I started doing as a hobby when I was still a civil engineering student and eventually switched to computer science. But at a company such as thoughtbot, where a lot of things are great, I think the hardest part, like for sure, I'm not exaggerating, but a lot of things are great at thoughtbot. Like, yeah, I think maybe the hardest part is sometimes you wanna have a long-term impact on a client's project, and being consultant, sometimes our time is limited, and just like
Yeah,
you have these ideas that you like to implement in the long run, and you have this vision that you like to see come to fruition, and sometimes you don't get to do that because the time on the project is limited. So maybe
yeah,
that's saying goodbye can be hard sometimes for some project.
yeah,
Some other, yeah.
yeah. I think that answer will resonate with a lot of consultants where like you can be, I mean, the shortest project I've done has been like 4 weeks. So you're literally on trying to do something and then you move off really, really quickly. So you get to now set a question for Dawn that she has to answer and she has no idea what's coming. Like I say, some questions have been sensible, some have been ridiculous. Do whatever comes to you.
All right. My question to the next person will be, what is the most adventurous thing you've done this year? And I'm
Ooh,
talking
I
about
like that.
outdoor thing, like anything related to outdoor adventures.
Okay.
So yeah.
Okay. Okay. I've written that down. Outdoor thing you've done this year. Okay, Trezor, thank you so much for your time. I expect you to jump in and out of this. So I might see, I don't know. When will Trezor turn up? Maybe you'll come out in the afternoon as well. But I really, really appreciate your time. And I'll chat to you soon.
All right, nice chatting with you, Sami. Cheers.
Right. Well, Trezor is gone, but the fun doesn't stop there because we have been visited by Dawn, who is now joining us. Dawn, you're the first person actually from the Americas to be joining us. So I'm starting to get across time zones now. I've done the EMEA time zone already this morning, and I'm still going. And so we're heading over into the Americas time zone. So thank you so much for taking time to join us on what is a really kind of special episode for ThoughtBot, for the Giant Robots podcast. Did you know how many seconds make up 10 minutes?
No.
You
And
did. Can you believe it's 600 seconds? Which is, how
I
uncanny is that? Because it's, yeah, sorry. I've been trying to do some like facts about things with 600. And I had some good facts lined up to begin with. But as time has gone on, my facts about the number 600 or something to do with 600 has just got worse and worse. So I can only apologize.
now that you say it, 600 makes a lot of sense for 10 minutes.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
was
yeah,
trying
yeah. No, it should make
to
sense.
math in my head, and yeah, we can cut that part.
We can cut everything just so all your answers are correct.
Correct.
Dawn, tell us a bit about what your role is at ThoughtBot, and for listeners who haven't had a chance to get to know you yet.
Yeah. So I've been at thoughtbot for a long time, almost 10 years actually, and I've been on this podcast a few times. So, but it's likely that every time I have been, I've had a different role.
It could be, yeah.
So I am currently head of design for the Americas team. And previously, I've been a design director, I've been a managing director, a designer, product designer here, and an apprentice designer. So almost every type of title that you can hold here.
Wow, that's an epic journey. That's amazing. So I should say welcome back to the podcast, seeing as you've been on the podcast before. And like you said, we've had multiple different hosts who have all contributed, bringing us towards this milestone of making it to 600 episodes. What do you like or enjoy about working at thoughtbot? We've had different answers from all different people, so I'm really interested to hear what your thoughts are.
Yeah, I like a lot of things. I think I especially enjoy when we get a chance to be together in person. I mean, of course, everybody loves the flexibility of remote work, but getting to do Summit and see everybody and do some traveling and work together in the same room is always really great. We still have a couple of other thoughtbotters in Austin, Texas, where I am. And we'll be kicking off a new tech leader event soon. So I'm also really excited to get together in person with other thoughtbotters more frequently, but also with other people in my community.
That's really nice because we've actually started a tech leader event recently in London. And I keep going for the free drinks. I mean, to meet the great people who attend and to network with lovely people.
Why not both?
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, I do get both. So like you said, you've been a thoughtbot for a number of years. Do you then happen to know? I've had two people who've got the answer to this right, although one of them cheated. To be fair, Trezor, you know who you are. Do you know when the first episode, so way back with Joe Ferris and Ben Orenstein would have aired? So make a guess. When do you think this podcast started?
Can it be the year? Maybe? Can my guess?
Yeah, of course. Oh, I'm not going month and date, just the year.
Okay. 2012.
100 points to Dawn. Smashed it. You absolutely, yeah. Bang on. 13 years ago in 2012. If you visit giantrobots.fm, you go all the way back to season 1, you'll hit that first episode where they discuss polymorphism and conditionals. So wow. 2012 is a long time to be going with this podcast. What were you doing back in 2012, 13 years ago?
Gosh. So I went to a boot camp and then got into tech that way. Got into design and then eventually the thoughtbot apprenticeship. So at that time I was probably working a retail job. For a time before I went to boot camp, I was working at we called it a Tibetan singing bowl shop, but really it was an Amazon fulfillment warehouse where we just took a lot of imports and then sold them in a little Tibetan Buddhist retail store here in Austin. But we would also ship them out all over the country. And it would be singing bowls and other little instruments and things, but also really cheap little plastic bracelets and other things you can find on Amazon in 2012, which was a little bit of a different breed than what you can find now.
Really cool. So that it's so fascinating. So one person's answer was they were still in primary school. So it's so interesting. Yeah. I know it's really interesting to see, you get a feel of kind of how long this podcast has been going for by asking people, where were you at episode 1? I've been doing this little feature on this episode because we kind of been speed dating through thoughtbotters, where we do a handoff question. So that's where you, Dawn, get to set a question that Adji then has to answer. Obviously, Adji's not going to know about that question because he's not here yet. But the flip side of that is Trezor, who came before you, has provided a handoff question that you have to answer.
Okay.
So I'll give you your question first from Trezor, and you cannot shoot the messenger. I'm just the messenger of the question. And then you can set one for Adji. So the question that Trezor asked and wants to know the answer to is, what is the most adventurous outdoor thing that you've done this year? It could be what's most adventurous for you. You should know that we've had some really difficult questions, like in a zombie apocalypse, who on the team would throw the rest of the team under the bus first. So it's quite sensible, this one, relatively sensible.
All right. I went to California earlier this year. I went to Moonlight Beach or Swami's Beach in Encinitas and walked around a really beautiful meditation garden there. So that was outdoorsy and what I would call adventurous for me in this time of my life. Okay.
Okay.
I'm not a rock climber. I like really chill things.
Yeah, to be fair, you're similar to me. That's great. That's really, really cool. And handoff question, hit me with it.
Okay, so I've been playing Would You Rather with my almost 8-year-old kid a lot lately. She always
Such a good game. Such a
So,
good
but we
game.
have we'll say, okay, let's do a nice Would You Rather, or let's do a like bad Would You Rather, as in like something, having to choose between two really disgusting things versus two really nice things that you really love. So you said keep it light. I'll go for a nice Would You Rather. Would you rather, Aji, have to sleep on a bed made of marshmallows for the rest of your life, or would you rather have to eat marshmallows for dinner every night for the next year?
That's great. That's really, really cool. And Dawn, I want to thank you so much for your time. As you can see, Andrew's already knocking on the door and he's ready to get going.
Great to see y'all.
So Aji, thank you so much for joining me and on the Giant Robot special 600th episode, which is turning into an absolute marathon. The production team are not going to be happy with all the editing they've got to do, but it is what it is. Fun fact: submarine cables. Huh? Submarine cables. Everyone loves a submarine cable.
I do,
As of
actually.
early, okay, good. So as of early 2025, do you have any idea how many submarine cables are active and tracked globally?
I was actually looking at a map of submarine cables just the other day because I wanted to see where there were some landings in Scotland so we could go and see the internet. But usually the exact location of these things where they make landfall is a secret because they don't want people vandalizing them or anything like that. It's got to be hundreds.
It is hundreds. Don't say 600 or 700 because you're going to get that meme going.
Uh-oh.
Have you seen that 600? So don't do. But where would you place it in the hundreds?
800 maybe.
Close, but it's actually 600 because the best things actually come in 600, just like the Giant Robots podcast, which now comes with 600 episodes.
Wow, I see what you did there. That's incredible.
Yeah, and I've been stretched so thin for these. I've been using one, and you're like the maybe 10th or 9th guest. So we've had a Sumatran rhino can weigh 600 kilograms.
Oh.
We found a star that's 600 light years away.
Nice.
We found that my house is 600 miles away from Leipzig in Germany. So, like, again, I think this is the place that people really come to be educated. And so we provide the content that they're screaming out for. But actually, tell us about yourself, what you do in thoughtbot, and yeah, give our listeners a little bit of an intro.
Yeah, I am a senior developer here at thoughtbot. Been around for about 4.5 years now. I am on our Europe, Middle East, and Africa team because I've just moved to Scotland. So that was from Chicago. I should say that part because if it's from Wales, it's not as big a move.
It's not a big move.
But yeah, and I am one of the hosts of the Bike Shed podcast. So another one of the thoughtbot stable of podcasts.
Wow, so I'm amongst real royalty here.
I was thinking the same thing.
This is great. We could stroke each other's egos for a while. It's brilliant. I've been asking everyone. I'm interested in your thoughts or opinions on this. What do you love the most and enjoy the most about working at thoughtbot?
I was talking about this on the bike shed the other day with Sally Hall, one of our fellow thoughtbotters, is that I have never been on a team company where literally every person is someone that I can't wait to work with on a project or work with again. There are no skips in this team, and that is statistically unlikely. So there must be something that we are doing well. And I don't know what part of the process it is, but it's really, I look forward to working with all of these folks.
Yeah, I think it's what they put in the water here. No? Didn't you get one of these?
I did. That could be it.
I think that's what it is. It's that thoughtbot magic liquid. Do you have any idea then? So you're a podcast host as well. And actually, I don't know if you know this, Chad told this to me, that initially there was one podcast, which was kind of the Giant Robots podcast, and it was more bike shed themed and more technical, and then eventually it split. But being at episode 600 in 2025, any ideas, or when do you think the first episode aired? What year?
Okay, I'm going to try and do a little mental math, but I'm also going to try and describe it out loud, so I'm not going to actually be able to calculate it. Let's see. Probably around 50 a year. So I'm carrying the two. 1998. Is that when it started? No. God, it's
it's not a bad way to think about it, by the way. 50 years, not a bad way. Go on, what did you say?
2012 is a guess.
Bang on. 100 points to Adji. That's incredible. Yeah, that makes you one of 3 who have got it right. Trezor, I know you got it right, but you kind of cheated. It was a technicality, Trezor. Trezor managed to hear the answer beforehand. But that's incredible, 2012. Actually, where were you 13 years ago? What were you doing in 2012?
Wow, yeah, 2012, I was working with a circus in San Francisco called Teatro Zinzani. It was on the waterfront, and it takes place in a Spiegel tent, which was kind of novel for the States at the time. I know there are a lot of other like cabaret shows around Europe that use some of those beautiful old tents, but that was the one of 2 in the States at that time.
Cool. That's one of the more interesting questions, the answers that we've had. So that's really, really interesting. So you know about this feature already because you came on whilst we had Dawn on about the handoff question.
Yes.
So you have an idea of what your question is. Let's just go over it again. So Dawn has asked, would you rather sleep on a bed of mushrooms for the rest of your life or eat mushrooms?
I thought it was marshmallows.
For dinner? Marshmallows. It was marshmallows. Better marshmallows. Eat marshmallows.
I think I'd have to go for the bed of marshmallows, especially if we could change out the marshmallows each night.
That would be. I think that's worth clarifying.
Yeah.
That's great. So you get a chance to set a handoff question for our next guest. What would you like to go with?
Yeah, I would like to ask, what is the last piece of art, that could be fine art, movie, TV, video game, reading, like a very welcoming definition of art. What is the last piece of art that has really hit you?
I love that question. Oh, I even want to think about that myself. But hey, I'm the host.
Well, you are free to do so. Just don't record it and broadcast it.
That's true. There was something recently, but it's not going to come to my mind because now I'm under pressure to recall it.
That's sitting and thinking is always great radio.
Exactly. It will come back to me. But actually, thank you so much for your time. I really, really appreciate it. And I will catch you soon.
Yeah, absolutely. See you then.
Okay, thank you to Adji for joining us. And we're still going on this whirlwind of an adventure. And I'm excited to bring in Neil to the podcast It's been a wild episode. This is episode number 600, and we're celebrating it in the way that it should be celebrated, which is with the rest of the people from thoughtbot. Do you, Neil, just to get you started off, because I'm racking my brains for different interesting facts. Did you know that the Hexacycle Nebula completes a full rotation, causing a surge of violet light that ancient skywatchers once mistook for the arrival of new stars?
Ooh.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot to take in. But did you know that full rotation took 600 years, which is 600, same number of podcast episodes? That's a terrible link. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry.
That's a great thing.
I'm really scraping the barrel. Tell me, Neil, a bit about yourself and what you do at thoughtbot.
Yes, I'm Neil Carvalho. I'm a senior developer in the Americas team. I'm based in Brazil, and I've been working at thoughtbot for 3.5 years now.
And then what is it that you love or you enjoy the most about working at thoughtbot?
Oh, I absolutely love being around such great group of people, both technically and as human beings. I always feel inspired when I start working because I know that I'm going to meet great people at thoughtbot.
Yeah, like a lot of people have said that as well, and that's kind of like a central theme that's kind of been woven through the center of this podcast. Is people really do enjoy and appreciate, you know, the colleagues and other people we work with at thoughtbot, which was really a lovely thing to say. And for those who don't know me, like I'm just one of those colleagues. I'm just a developer. I'm not actually part of the marketing team. I'm not sure how I ended up doing this, but here I am. Do you know, Neil? Do you have any idea? We're at episode 600. Any idea what year you think the first Giant Robots podcast was recorded?
Oh, I'm going to guess. I'd say 2012.
Wow, but that's right. I don't understand this.
Wow.
The last few people I've asked have got it bang on in 2012. I'm really impressed. What were you doing I mean, it's a long time ago. It's 13 years ago. What were you doing back in 2012?
I was working at a Brazilian company, a product company. I was already following thoughtbot because of the blog, the open source work, and I was probably listening to the Giant Robots podcast by then, but not by then, but just a few years later. I'm pretty sure that in 2015 it was more very thoughtbot product centric by then.
Wow. So we've actually managed to unearth and discover our number one fan on episode 600, one of our fans who's been with us for the longest period of time.
But that was a guess. I did some quick math in my mind.
Brilliant. So there's a feature I've been running on this because I've been having so many people onto this episode, which has been fun and games in terms of logistics, where I've been doing like a handoff question. So that's where you get to set a question for the next guest who's about to come on. But also that means the previous guest, who was Aji, has left a question for you to answer. And his question is, what was the last piece of art? And what they mean by art is, it could be video, it could be actual art, but art form that has really hit you.
I was returning from the thoughtbot whole team meetup, and I was listening to this album that it's an 1994 album from Dream Theater called Awake, and I listened to this album so many times because I'm a Dream Theater fan. But it's been so long that the only thing that I was doing at a given moment was just listening to music without doing anything else. I was in the airplane without internet or whatever. and I was paying attention to the specifically the keyboards, and could I could notice um, so many aspects of the music that I hadn't before, and it was a great experience. It's yeah, I should do that more often.
Yeah, no, that's really lovely. So we're hoping to get Lewis onto the podcast straight after you. Is there a question that I can hand off to Lewis when hopefully he joins us?
Okay, good question about the question. So meta. Okay, I know Louis loves silly jokes. Yeah, I'm going to ask, what's the best bad joke that you have in mind right now?
That's brilliant. Okay, brilliant. Neil, thank you so much for taking time out to spend time with us, to join this momentous occasion and be part of ThoughtBot's history on this episode. And I'll catch you soon.
See you. Bye-bye.
I actually can't believe, Lewis, that I've made it this far. I don't know if you know, but I started these with Bethan at 9:50 a.m. this morning. We're now past 9:30 p.m. at night. It's been wonderful, but it's also a relief. But Nils left us, and here we are with Lewis, who's probably brought us the best view in the house that we've had all day. Fun fact for you, Lewis, and I'll ask it as a question. A female housefly lays eggs in batches of about 100 at a time. Okay?
All right.
How many eggs do you think a female housefly actually lays over the entirety of their lifetime?
100.
No. It actually, you wouldn't believe this answer, by the way, 600.
Okay.
Which brings us to this episode, which is 600. I mean, everything today has just been pointing towards this magic 600 figure, which is the 600th episode of the Giant Robots podcast. Lewis, tell us a bit about yourself.
Yeah, so I'm a development team lead, and I'm a Rails developer. I'm here at the moment I'm here in Durham, but I live in Wake Forest, North Carolina. And what else can I tell you?
Well, firstly, it's been really cool because I've been going through the time zones. So started off with most people in the EMEA time zone and heading across the Americas has been really nice. Tell me, what do you love? And I've been asking this to everyone I've had on, and it's been really interesting to hear people's answers. What do you love or enjoy the most about working for ThoughtBot?
I think it is hands down the safest, most collaborative, most inspiring, most caring place I've ever worked at. And I've been in the field for a long, long time, longer than I would like to admit, but never, ever once have I seen like big teams, small teams. This place is really amazing.
Yeah, it's very special, and I think everyone we've spoken to has really alluded to that, from the people that we work with, from the ability to, we have a lot of autonomy. ThoughtBot cares about getting the best out of us, and therefore they're not rigid in terms of we must do things in this way. And it's been really reaffirming for myself to kind of hear that from everyone. And I think it's something that really binds us all together. Any ideas? Because I'll be honest with you, the first question was hard. That wasn't fair. Okay. But this question's much easier. So we've been going for 600 episodes. I've had probably 4 people get this right now.
Okay.
Any ideas, and you can use logic to your advantage here. Any guesses on the year that the first episode of the Giant Robots podcast was aired in? When was it first recorded?
600 AD.
That's not a bad guess. Do you know what we did? We have learned about 600 AD. I can't remember when that comes up, but we will be hearing about. I think we covered it maybe in the intro about smallpox was the first documentation of smallpox in European literature was in 600 AD.
That's way less auspicious. Let me go with a more reasonable guess of 2008.
Wow, close. You're 4 years off. It's
All right.
2012 was the first episode featuring Ben Orenstein and Joe Ferris. So I'm just standing on the shoulders of giants here, people. And the follow-up question I've asked to everyone is, what were you doing 13 years ago in 2012?
2012, gosh, I think I'd have to look back and see. It's a little bit of blur. It's pre-thoughtbot. It is pre, I don't know. I feel like I might have been working for a healthcare company I was doing mobile development at the time, specifically on iPads. So I'm going to guess it was around there.
Okay, we've had such fascinating answers from a lot of people being in university to some thoughtbotters still being in primary school. So it's been really interesting to kind of see what's happened during that time span. A feature which I didn't tell you about before you joined me, so now you don't have a choice about playing this game, is I've been working with this handoff feature where the guest before you, our lovely Neil, gets to set a question that you have to answer.
Ooh.
And he knew that you were coming. So he's probably asked the best question that anyone could ask you. And what he's asked is, what's the best bad joke that you have in your mind right now?
Oh God. That's so hard because, for me, they're so situational. It's just like an
Really? Okay.
an opportunity, an opportunity comes up, and my brain just latches onto it, and then the bad joke pun erupts, emerges fully formed from my mind. So, oh gosh, offhand, I don't know that I have one, but I'm gonna think about it for a little bit, see if anything, if it arrives.
Okay, if anything comes, it comes. But the other part of this is, normally I would ask the guest that I have to provide a question for the next guest coming on. But after you leave, it's just Chad and Will coming back, and we're going to wrap up the episode. So people have kind of felt that I've got away easy over this episode because I haven't had to face any of these handoff questions. So I'm going to actually allow you to come up with any question. Some questions we've had so far have revolved around zombie apocalypses, kind of
Sure.
who would throw you under a bus from thoughtbot.
Yeah.
If you were on Mars, what chocolate would you take with you? What languages do babies think in? We've had some pretty interesting questions, so you could be as dramatic, as sensible as you like. The only rule is that I have to answer the question.
Got it. Okay, here we go. You walk up to a machine, and after some quick analysis of what it does, it's a little bit puzzling at first. There's a big chamber, and it looks like it's big enough that you could stand in it with a glass door. And then you see a little display to the left, and you look at it, and what you see are the faces of everyone who is currently or has ever worked at thoughtbot. And there's a token there. It's like a gold coin, and that's the only one there. So you get one shot here. You put the token in the machine, and you look through this directory of all the thoughtbotters ever. You get to pick one, press their face, walk into the device, and when you walk out, you are that person.
Oh, I become that person.
Yes.
I thought this was going to be like a meeting thing, and I was going to ask you, how big is the room? Because I don't know who I want to be stuck with inside the room for like a long time.
No, you're going to be stuck with whoever you choose. That's going to be you going forward.
But it will be me. And
yes.
do I then get their whole lives and all the baggage that comes with them? So, for example, if I decide to become Valeria, do I get her cat and live in her apartment in Pisa?
Gotcha.
Or do I go back into my existing life, just being that person?
No, let's say you go into their life, and maybe you can pick and choose a few of the memories, but in general, you're just like you're that person. And we could even do it. Have you seen Severance?
I have not. I'm a terrible person for movie references. My kids are
no
so
worries.
young. I went to see Zootropolis too. That's the best thing I've got recently. Go on.
All right, let's alter the question a little bit.
you're going to become. You will only be this person when you're at work. So when you're
I've seen
your day
trailers for
starts,
Severance. Got
yeah.
it. Got it. Got
So
it. Got it.
when you come into work at thoughtbot, you are now this person, past or present, and you just get to be them forever for the rest of your time at thoughtbot.
I love this question, and they can be current as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
I know what the answer is.
Let's hear.
I think everyone would pick this person. I really do.
Okay.
I would love it if he's listening. I would be Nick Charlton. No
Okay.
question about it. He is both the most He's both the most talented and most calm individual I've ever met. There is nothing that phases him, and he I don't know if the word is generate. Well, he gives off this energy, this calm energy, no matter what the situation is. And it's like he can. We actually refer to him as kind of like the Batman on the EMEA team, because you just pull him in for anything. So when something goes wrong in the house and there's a leak, Nick, what do I do? When the electrics aren't working, Nick, what do I do? There's so much he knows. He's been working on hardware projects recently, but it's more that sense of calm that I rarely see in people. So Nick Charlton, you are my hero. And if this machine is ever built, you should run far away from it, because I will take your life.
That's right. I'll tell Nick that at some future he might suddenly wake up and be you.
He'll be in my shoes. He's going to have a massive amygdala, and he's going to start worrying about everything, and he'll have a massive prefrontal cortex. He can overthink all of life's issues. Enjoy it, Nick. Have a good time. That's such a good question, and it's such a nice way to bring us to the end of having these wonderful guests on this special, momentous occasion for the Giant Robots podcast. Thank you so much, Lewis, for joining us, bringing us cheer with your wonderful hat. Incredibly seasonal. And I'm going to let you go, and we're going to head back to Chad and Will to wrap things up.
That sounds great.
Oh, what a marathon that was.
That was amazing. And everyone brought so much fun and energy, and I think that really is what we've been going for the show.
Yeah, well, I couldn't think of any better way to celebrate 600 episodes of the Giant Robots podcast.
Yes, I love hearing from our team. We have an amazing team.
Yeah, Chad, what did you think about why Ferdy has said that he loved working here? What did you think about that?
I loved Aji's question about art. That was an amazing one.
Oh, nice move. Nice move, Will. Will managed to find his way caught up in another slot. As good reference. Yeah, it was great to speak to all different people that we get to work with daily, and to take time to do a special episode, one which is very different from the ones that we normally do. Is there anything that sticks in your mind, Chad, from this episode?
Please stop.
I don't stop. What exactly? I mean, this is like the end of the episode, Chad.
To 600 more.
Yeah, I tell you what. Let's finish off with a question that is actually fair. And the question is, I guess, more of a fact than anything else. But this came up earlier, so maybe you did hear it, but I'm not exactly sure. So in the Bible, okay, this is important. When the flood began, right? Story of the flood, 2 by 2 on the ark. How old was Noah when the flood began?
600 years old.
100 points to Chad. Can you believe that? And how uncanny is that to think that this is the 600th episode, which correlates to, oh no, I hope that doesn't mean a flood's coming.
Did you know the answer, or you just knew 600?
Did you actually know?
I did actually know, but also it was obvious because of what you did with the smallpox.
Oh yeah,
Context clues.
yeah,
That was good.
Yeah, it's been great. Thank you, both of you, for hosting this episode with me. It's been a logistical nightmare for all the right reasons, but having you two supporting me with all the research, logistics, organization has just made this whole thing a walk in the park. So I can't thank you both enough.
Well, yeah, I mean, really, all you need to do is just show up and be yourself. We took care of everything else.
Yeah, that's why I've had such a relaxing day. Like, I've had good breaks today, taken some nice walks. So yeah, credit to both of you for doing that for me.
Anytime.
Cool. See you on the next one. Here's to the next 600.
See ya.